Welcome back and good morning. Wake Up continues on WIDU 1600 AM, WIDU 99.7 FM. We're also available on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to like, share, and comment. Wake Up continues. It's going to conclude on a great note. We say the very best for last. It's MP3 Radio Talk Show. The brothers are here. We have full, perfect attendance. They're looking good as always. It is truly a family affair and brotherly style, like, if you will. And phone lines are open. Yep, the gents do take phone calls. If you like to chit chat with MP3, now is a good time to do so. Like to chime in or give some commentary on their topics of talk, you can do that at 910-483-6111. Good morning, Pitts brothers. We're ready for you. We're ready for MP3 Radio Talk Show. It is all on you three. I hope you're well this morning. Good morning.
Thank you, Tammy. Good morning. Yes, we are doing well. I am Marshall Pitts.
Module Pitts.
And Myron Pitts.
And we are
MP3.
Have a good morning, everybody. Glad everybody's in the studio with my brothers. MP3, your trio talk radio. Glad to be here. Want to thank our participating stations, and we always started off like that. 99.7 FM here in Fayetteville, where we broadcast from. 98.5 FM out of Red Springs, North Carolina. 97.1 FM out of Lumberton. And, of course, 92.5 FM out of Laurinburg. The numbers to call in if you want to participate in our conversations, we always welcome that. Numbers to call in, 910-483-6111. That's 910-483-6111. So, Myron, what do we have on tap for today? You sent us some topics.
A lot of interesting topics
fair to middling topics.
I thought they're pretty good topics. LeBron James has picked a team. Last week, we were talking about, who is he going to pick the last time we were on the air. And during that show, I think it was announced he went with the 76ers. Out of Philly. We'll talk about that. Probably his last team he'll be playing for.
Probably so.
We're also going to talk about To the surprise of many, Trump has nominated and now has been confirmed an African American woman. That's right. Sister Girl is to head the CDC, Centers for Disease Control.
And she doesn't.
And from what I'm hearing, she appears to be a pretty normal person.
A legitimate,
pretty normal person, unlike a lot of his picks.
We'll see.
But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll never know until you sit in the seat how you respond to pressure.
Then we also have, and I think it's not a mystery any longer, that ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, has dramatically increased its number of arrests, and they're hitting airports now.
Yeah. They arrest
that's an escalation.
like almost 50,000 people in 1 month.
It's a record. And so they're trying to reach, I guess, some numbers that Trump has laid out there.
Arbitrary goals that
and
he
of
set
course,
forward.
And a couple of the people they've arrested have been professors who were here legally, including a sister who was at Johns Hopkins.
Right.
And then lastly, time permitting, hopefully we will get to this. The trial Monday starts for, Monday the trial starts, the person accused of killing legendary rapper Tupac Shakur.
Right.
And so we'll talk about that. That's a case that's been hanging around for many, many years, and we'll see.
Did they ever find out who shot Biggie?
Nope.
I don't think. Did they ever arrest who shot Jam Master Jay?
Nope.
It's funny how these things remain unsolved.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first of all, someone's got to be looking for somebody.
That's true. It's true.
So,
you certainly ain't gonna find nothing you're not looking for.
Yeah, if you're not looking
Something
for nobody,
you're not looking
so
for, yeah.
you know, who knows how
The
many?
only way they found this guy, because this guy wrote a memoir on it.
Yeah. He started
Because he
talking.
basically confessed.
Yeah,
he
I
started-
mean, according to
He started talking
what's
about
the trial for? Guess you got to go through that.
Right. You can just round up
Right.
and say you're convicted. You go
Throw
in
him
prison
straight
for the
in
rest of your
jail.
life.
Right. We do
Well,
still
if
live in the United States.
He's writing a tell-all.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of a trial? He's writing a tell-all.
So we got a little bit behind the scenes information on how LeBron James came to his decision. They talked to the Philadelphia 76ers president, Mike Gonzi. He said that what changed the conversation and helped the 76ers is when they acquired Jaylen Brown.
The guy who the Celtics,
From the Celtics
pushed out.
Who the Celtics pushed out.
Inexplicably.
Inexplicably, because he was the MVP of their finals. Still a great player. I mean, top of his game, a young player. But anyway, they pushed
They
him
say
out.
he was too smart. He's too smart for his own good.
And so,
The last thing we need, I guess, is smart basketball players.
yeah, and so,
I guess that run turns out to be a problem in certain circles.
yeah, so he talks about a phone call that he called up LeBron James, and then it was said that this changes things. They talked about it, and the whole
Well, they
process.
weren't even on the radar.
They weren't even on the radar
Right.
at the time, and that put them on the radar. So it took about 3 weeks between the time Jaylen Brown was shipped off to the Sixers, and then LeBron made his blockbuster announcement. Now, if y'all recall our discussion, I'm not sure the 76ers was even in our discussion. We had talked about them possibly going to Miami.
In fact, it was Sarah
possibly
that,
going to Cleveland.
It was Sarah that broke the news to us that he was going to. Your wife that he was going to.
So I don't know how I
we
feel
should probably
about.
have Sarah on the show to talk sports.
Right. She can definitely take your spot. So
I knew it.
we can put her in
I
your
threw
spot.
him a softball. He knocks it out of the park.
yeah, you set yourself up for that
Yeah.
one. But I don't know how I feel about LeBron ring shopping. That's what we're doing.
That's what that's what all the critics are going to say.
Yeah, he's ring.
He's ring shot.
What a negative take.
It's not what the critics are saying. It's what he's doing. He's ring shopping.
That's fine. He wants a ring. Everybody wants a ring.
Everybody wants a ring.
He
What's
wants
wrong with
another
that?
ring.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
How about building-
I would be suspicious of players who didn't want a ring.
Right, especially someone who's reached his level and one of the greatest of all time. Wouldn't you want to add to that legacy? Even look at Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders wanted one of the greatest running backs of all time. He wanted to go to a team where he might win a championship. He got tired of tolling around in doldrums with Detroit
Some
Lions
would
at
say-
that time.
And actually ended his career when
Right.
they wouldn't trade him.
Right.
Some would
People
say
want to win.
Some would say that LeBron's whole career has been ring shopping.
And again,
his entire
What's the problem?
And you base that on and what the problem becomes is you base that on what they are saying. Mm-hmm. I'm conflicted about it myself. But what they're saying is that if you're the number one player in the world, like he was, then you let other players come to you. They want to come play with you, not you going to jump on their team to play with them, like he did with D Wade, like he did, with Miami, and then how he assembled the team down there in L.A. with Anthony Davis and different players. Some people would
He didn't
say
really do that with Cleveland.
He
though,
did not do that with Cleveland.
he had the guard, the one the mental health. So,
Kyrie
Who is
Irving.
the brother? Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. Leave Kyrie alone. And that's the problem if you're judging it by people of the past. LeBron, I mean, there's no way Michael Jordan would ever want to play with Magic Johnson or Larry Bird under no circumstances.
No,
He
he's
wanted to win
different types of people.
different era. No, just a different era. Everyone does it in this era. Everyone ring shops in this era.
Yeah.
Everyone does it. No one
Right.
stays with their own team. They go to another team.
They
either
wanna
for
win.
They
They
go
want-
to not necessarily. Sometimes they go to another team for more money.
That's right.
Sometimes they're
Right.
shipped out like Jaylen
that's
Brown.
always been the case.
Sometimes
get the
they-
best-
Yeah,
That's
it's
contract.
professional league.
It's a
So
professional league.
some people are going to
Yes.
go for the money, just
But-
like the owners are trying to make some
Right,
money.
and again,
And make money.
there is no negative about either one of those things. What I'm trying to tell you, that's what people are saying. So now this is LeBron's fourth team. This is his fourth team.
Or 15.
Fourth or fifth.
Cleveland,
Who knows? It's been
Miami,
a lot of teams.
Lakers, so fourth team.
he's won a ring with at least three different teams: L.A.,
Yeah,
Cleveland,
he's won with three different teams. Yeah.
Cleveland, and Miami. Yeah, I think that's unheard of.
Yeah, because most people don't do that many teams.
That's right.
Most people don't do that many teams when you
No,
when,
a lot of players, particularly as
When
they get
you're-
older, they get shopped around the league.
not the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. Greatest of all time players do not shop around. That's what people are saying. Think about it. Have you known another greatest of all time player? That's what we're talking about. A top 2, 3, some people would say number 1 player of all time who is shopped around like LeBron. Do you know anyone like that?
And this is why I prefer
Didn't
the
Jordan
current.
want to go to the Wizards? We did.
Well, he went to the Wizards. Were you still ring
Yeah,
shopping?
after his
then?
career was over. No, he wasn't ring shopping at all.
You just wanted to
he
keep
wanted to play
playing.
basketball.
Yeah. Now,
No, he wasn't
the-
ring shopping at all, because that wouldn't be the team he
The
would have
flip
went to.
side to that, and why I don't have a problem with ring shopping, one of the sad, in some respects, stories of sports is when a player does give their entire career to one team, and the team never really puts the pieces around them to get it done.
Or
Sometimes it's just a bad owner, or they come along in an era like when Jordan played, and nobody was getting rings except the Bulls at that point. So
Or-
you have guys like Patrick Ewing, never got a ring.
You
Moses
have-
Malone. Karl Malone.
Right.
When you are the best player,
Barkley.
when
Barkley.
when
And he
you are-
did play with two teams.
when you are the best player in the world, as LeBron was at
Right.
one point, as Kobe was at one point, as Jordan was at one point, you have the influence to go to ownership and say, you need to put the players around me or I'm going to leave. Now, Jordan.
What was LeBron's first team?
Cleveland.
He played with Cleveland, which is quote unquote the hometown team because he was from Akron.
He toured down there for a long time.
Right. And
But-
if he had
what
stayed,
you mean for
let
a
me
long
just
time?
put, if he had stayed in Cleveland, he probably wouldn't have had a ring. He
did win
had
it.
to go. He had to leave and come
come
back.
He did win a ring in Cleveland,
Yeah, after he left and came back.
and they got better players.
Right, because they had lost him the first time. if he had stayed there that first time,
and demanded.
they had a bad owner. And the guy was trying to build a team on the cheap. And I understand it's a smaller market, but you just can't do that these days and be competitive. And then LeBron left, so he could pursue a ring. You could call it ring shopping.
It's
but to me,
it's not what I'm calling it. I'm
right.
I'm not calling
I
it
think
ring
that's
shop.
a pejorative term for just
ring-
trying to better one's circumstances.
I don't even necessarily consider when you're trying to go after a ring for it to be ring shopping.
Right.
I don't really consider it. Not in today's age.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant does it.
Right.
You know, there's been numerous players. You mentioned
Sure.
Charles, but there's been numerous players that
Right.
have went to other teams to try to better their circumstance, either for more money or to better their circumstance, or both.
Yeah.
Or both sometimes, and so they can win a ring. What I'm saying is that it's usually not one of the best in the game that does that. Usually the best people in the game stay with their own team in basketball. Now you're correct. If you stay with one team and you have the immense talent that LeBron had,
Yeah.
then you probably going to go your whole career without a whole lot of people around him, because you can win basketball games, 40, 50, 60 basketball games, and then never really get over the hump. And then you never get that first round pick or that first pick or second pick.
And that's what the Cavaliers, Cleveland was prepared to do with LeBron. Just let them. They always gonna make the playoffs. They got LeBron.
Oh, no doubt. They
Right.
definitely make the
So
playoffs.
they were content with that. He wasn't. What I don't have, there's many reasons I don't have a problem with, and one of them is that it shows also players' power. You know, players even in the NBA, which doesn't have the best players contract, but even in the NBA, they have more power than they used to. I compare. We're just talking about how Jaylen Brown, you know. As far as I know, he was fine with the Celtics. No one had talked about him, I want to get out of the Celtics. And he had performed for him. He was still performing at the highest level.
I told you.
But when
he
the
was too
owner,
smart
for
his
some
own
reason,
good.
wanted to just move on, boom, he's gone.
Right.
So, you know, I'm like, the players should always had and should exercise their options to improve their situation, just like any of us in our employment.
It always
Wasn't he? Isn't he? What kind of science guy was? Was he a nuclear scientist or something? What was his?
Yeah,
expertise?
he was. He had an engineering brain. You know, at one point NASA tried to recruit him. So Jaylen Brown was very. So, long story short, LeBron was happy about that move, and now they have a powerhouse, and he does have whether he's ring shopping or whatever you want to call it, he now has a legitimate shot.
You really don't like that
at a
ring shopping time.
Well, I just think it kind of diminishes.
So now I'm wondering. So the question
You're gonna have
becomes:
it thrown around more when it's LeBron, because they've never forgiven him for the
decision.
The decision. You know,
Right.
the media's never fully liked him anymore.
Right.
So what's going to happen? And I mentioned on the show that LeBron was through winning rings. However,
Yeah,
that was
that's
before.
out now.
That was yeah.
He's back to possibly winning another
He's
ring.
back to possibly winning a ring as
But
a
you said that he wouldn't win wherever he went.
as a. No, I didn't say wherever he went. The teams that the teams.
I certainly heard that it was like wherever he
You
went.
said he's done.
Well, of course.
There's not a lot of interpretations for that.
that leaves a lot to interpretation. But what I was saying that if he went to Oklahoma City Thunder, if he went to Denver, if he went to a team that
San
just won the
Antonio.
championship, San Antonio, yes, he's got a shot to win the championship. But I was just assuming that he was not going to go to one of those teams, and Philly was not even mentioned.
They weren't. The
the
that was
teams
not
that he
mentioned,
was
right.
thinking about going to. He was never going to win a title with them. Golden State. He was thinking about going to them. That dog won't hunt. He was thinking about going to Cleveland. Back to Cleveland again. They're not going to win a title at Cleveland. He was
Yeah.
thinking about teams like that. And so I didn't even know Philly, was a
was
part
in
of
the
the
mix,
picture.
right. It
And
shook
so-
things up.
But that's going to diminish. And I know you guys don't want to realize it, though. But that's always going to be, right or wrong, that's always going to be, even if he wins a title, one more title, or two more titles. When it comes up, the conversation about who's the greatest, that's the first one of the first people who don't like LeBron,
Right.
who like Jordan better or Kobe better or those type guys.
That's a
better.
key identifier,
That's a key identifier that they're going to say, well, Kobe didn't do it that way. He stayed with his original team. Jordan didn't do it that way. They won with the guys that were around him.
Right.
And they even go down a little deeper.
But they had some
But
great
Kobe's
guys
team
around
was
him.
original. His original team was one of the big market teams, and they put Shaq in there.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't need to go anywhere. 'Cause
Right.
LeBron-
they had future Hall of
LeBron-
Famers on the team.
Right.
LeBron James has played with more Hall of Famers on his team, 3 times as many as Kobe. Or
It's not, but
or-
as we just pointed out, he had to go and join those teams. It's not like the team he was with. Well, let's put Hall of Famers around him.
What I'm saying to you is this. What I'm saying to you is simply this. He's played with a lot of Hall of Famers
Yeah,
around
he
him.
has, yeah.
He's played with people that are in the Hall of Fame, that are going to be in the Hall of Fame, and those type of things. He's played with a lot of those players around him. And he has, and I've said it before, when it comes to this conversation, I'll continue to say it. If I'm trying to get to a NBA championship game, then LeBron would be the person I would pick. If I'm trying to win it, I'm going with Jordan or Kobe. Because if Jordan and Kobe get there, they're going to win it. But LeBron has been there 9 times, which is incredible in itself.
And he has what?
4 rings.
4 rings. Okay.
He's
so
lost it 5 times.
to pass Jordan.
He'd have to get 3 more
3
rings.
more rings.
And I think it's safe to say that's not going to happen.
I don't
The
know.
way
We'll see.
he's been playing for almost 25 years, quarter century.
Yeah.
And his
That
numbers
would be
are still
tough.
strong.
That would be tough. Just because at a certain point, Father Time will catch up, even with LeBron.
He's gonna what he could do. He could do
Possible. Yeah, it's
do like-
tough. And you're coming out of the East, and now the Sixers are. I'm not the Sixers. The Knicks are kind of a beast right now. So I don't know. Yeah, I think it's more probable coming out of the East than if he was playing in the West.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah. So
No doubt. We'll see. I mean, if he wins another one, then we'll revisit these conversations as far as that goes.
let's say if the Sixers do win 3 while LeBron's there, past Jordan, will you acknowledge LeBron's best ever at that point?
I don't think if he wins 3 more, I don't think he would have a choice but to. I mean,
Oh, people would still have that.
no,
They-
you asked me.
Yeah, you said
I
you
don't,
first.
yeah,
Right,
I'm
right,
thinking
exactly.
specifically for myself. I don't think he would have a choice but to.
But you don't think he's the best all-around player ever, all-around? as
No,
far
he
as
said
talent?
if he won those 3, he
No, I'm
believe he
saying
would.
right now, you don't think he's the all-around the best player to ever play basketball? Including all the skills is what I'm trying to say.
If you look at totally numbers, then yes.
Yeah,
Look
just
at-
numbers.
If you look at
stats.
numbers, you gotta look at stats. I mean, he played a lot longer
But
than
his
Jordan.
specific qualifier
Yeah.
is if you want to win the championship.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like winners.
I also
I
would.
think you do
well,
too.
LeBron's a winner now, so let's clarify that.
I like winners too.
Right. No, I would also, in terms of, for the same reasons, I would go with Jordan or Kobe. And it came down, you made the championship, and now it's time to win the championship.
If we spent half an hour on this conversation, I'm gonna leave this to you guys. If Jordan was LeBron playing in this same era, and he had switched to teams that LeBron had, moved around like LeBron had, out of those 9 titles, he would have won 7. He would have won 7 of 9. 2 of those teams were just
don't
better.
know.
Yeah, I do know. I do know. That's my point about LeJordan. They would have beaten everybody except for the Golden State Warriors, who were clearly better that year. That they won it all.
Yeah.
That couple of years they were a great dynasty, and the San Antonio Spurs, which were also a great dynasty. Jordan would have struggled. No way he loses to Dallas, the Mavericks, and Dirk Nowitzki. No way that happens.
Yeah.
And then one other title he lost, 2 or 3 other titles that he lost that he should have won if he had been playing up to when it came to the finals. Every one of the finals, George's numbers increased when he got into the finals. He was just a Kobe too, just a finals player, just a killer when it came to time to win it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, congratulations to LeBron. The league is probably pretty happy.
Yeah.
The NBA.
Oh, my goodness,
Because
yeah.
this is
I'm
really
happy
kind of.
because I want to see that team play.
Yeah.
Could
And
you
I think a lot
imagine
of people are in this
Well, who's
in
not
that same
happy
situation.
are the Boston Celtics.
Right, and that's their own fault, though.
Oh, who cares about the Boston
They literally
Celtics?
created the situation.
Yeah, who cares about them? If they want to destroy their own organization, let
Yeah,
them do it.
yeah.
But I would love to see Philly and Oklahoma City Thunder, or Philly and Denver,
Or
Philly
in San Antonio. Any of those matchups
Right, San
would be
Antonio,
exciting.
man,
Yeah,
that would,
all right,
your
more
ratings
power
would be
to
through
it.
the roof.
They got to beat New York first to do that.
All right, Dr. Erica
York's
Schwartz
done.
is.
You say that about everybody.
I
Once you
know.
say it again, they're done.
How are they done already? It's the same personnel that just won the championship.
That we didn't think they were going to win it.
Not to mention, well, they
And
won
everybody
4
around
games to 1 over
And
the Spurs.
and everybody around them has gotten better. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. They may have gotten better too. Dr. Erica Schwartz has been confirmed as the first African American woman to lead the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. She was nominated by Trump. I'm pretty sure I'm safe to say she is the first black woman of a cabinet level, a higher level position that Trump has appointed or nominated. So I guess we'll have to give him some congratulations on that. But what's even more important, though, is that she is not one of his oddball picks or someone who is kind of opposed to the core mission of the institution. I'm thinking of someone like a Linda McMahon, a wrestling exec who's over the Department of Education.
He's nominated a lot of people that have no clue.
Robert
about
F.
the
Kennedy
joint.
Jr., who's
Which would be her boss.
anti-vaccines, is over the public, who would be her boss, by the way, who's
lady-
over
the
the,
lady he
public
put over-
Health and Human Services.
That lady he put over education department.
That's
time.
Linda McMahon, the wrestling exec, right?
No,
So,
even before her, what was the other lady's name? Linda somebody. that was in the first administration.
Oh, yeah,
that,
somebody
that never
else.
dealt with the public schools at all in her entire life.
Oh yeah, rich lady. Yeah, both of them rich. So, so Dr. Swartz, and so the Los Angeles Times wrote a really good story about her, and it says that public health officials are cautiously optimistic because she does have a distinguished background. She holds degrees in medicine, law, and public health.
So she's a lawyer and a doctor.
Yeah, that's right. Board certified preventive medicine physician, long track record of relevant professional experience in government service. She was with the U.S. military as well. And so she knows the agency well that she has chosen to lead. Now, one of you, maybe you mentioned it, Mijel, her boss will be RFK Jr.
And on top of him, Donald J. Trump.
Donald Trump. So I actually think the bigger concern for her would be RFK Jr.
How did she get picked?
Because he fired the last lady.
Yeah. He's. I'm not sure how it's almost felt like she slipped through the cracks somehow. I'm not sure if this is an election year driven pick because it's no great secret. This is predicted to be a potentially very tough year for Republicans because of the economy.
And
that's really the main
the
thing.
anti-vaccine folks are still a minority in the country.
Yeah.
By a large margin. So I think they're trying to, taper that down a little bit.
Now, her vote in the Senate, the Senate has to approve these nominees. Looks like it was 51-44. So more or less party line. I think she may have gotten a couple of Democrats to vote for her, but that's really the environment we live in. You're not going to see these lopsided approval type votes in this day and age. You didn't really see it with
Which is not right.
Joe Biden, and you don't really see it with Donald Trump.
Which is not right. And it doesn't matter what president picks the person or what party picks the person. If and when the person is qualified, which this lady, this doctor appears to be qualified, then in my mind, you shouldn't just be saying no, just to be saying no.
Yeah.
Whether it's Republican or Democrat, and it appears again on the surface. Now, the question becomes though, would you take a job? Would MP2 take a job in the Trump administration?
Yeah, I know you would.
Would you?
Question. No, heck no. When someone, I'm of two minds about the Trump administration. Even a terrible administration like this one is, you do kind of want to see some diversity. But then that requires a person of a diverse background like Dr. Swartz to accept working for someone like Trump.
How much do you have to give of yourself? Give up of yourself to do that kind
there
of
is
thing?
precedent because he had hired an African American to be Surgeon General. And they soon fell out because it turns out that particular person was pretty serious about the job. So he was shuffled out of the administration. And has since then been pro-vaccine, pretty,
Anti-vaccine.
No, he's been pro-vaccine. The person Trump pushed out. This brother. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how her career trajectory will go. And that, as a matter of fact, what scrutiny she faced, according to our sources during the hearings, were a nomination where people were wondering how independent she was going to be.
So,
and some people take those jobs in that kind of scenario because they think by taking the job, first of all, it's a very high-profile job and a career culmination type job.
Yeah.
And that's one reason. But the other thing is they think that, well, even though I got these obstacles with some of the people that would be over me, I can still make a difference in this job. So they still take it anyway.
So she wants to get into a quote-unquote bad system or difficult system and make a change within that system as to how that system is perceived and all of those things. But
and that would make more sense to me with the way that it used to be.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense to me with this particular administration. She knows that she's going to a climate where the people are are not. They're anti-vaccine. They're anti-scientific research in a lot of different areas, and so going into that, and you have two bosses that are very, for a nice way to say, are very volatile.
Yeah.
In that you could get fired in a twinkling of an eye.
That's correct.
With
right.
both those bosses, Kennedy and Trump. So
she's in a difficult situation. By the way, the person I was speaking of earlier, I just looked up his name, Jerome Adams.
Oh yeah.
Where he fell out with Trump is that initially he was with Trump on the whole downplaying the COVID-19 pandemic. But then when he looked further into it, in other words, when the facts became quite clear, he started changing his tune a little bit. He felt like there should be more efforts to guard against it. He was pro-vaccine, and then he was shortly out of the Trump administration after that. So Dr. Schwartz might face these kind of situations because the vaccine issue is still very much alive, because RFK Jr., as we mentioned, is just opposed to him, particularly when it comes to children, and there's already afoot an effort to stir that back up even before the election.
What would you think about it and the questions that they asked her during part of her confirmation? I saw some of that on, I think it was C-SPAN or the news or whatever it was. I heard it on my Google feed. But when you look at some of the questions they were asking her, would she be willing to go against or not be in agreement with her
keep the politics
her
out of it.
direct boss,
Right.
or her indirect boss, which would be President Trump,
Right.
or Robert F. Kennedy. Of course, she sidestepped a lot of those questions because you don't want to go into a confirmation. You don't want to go into a job saying that you're going to go against those two men.
Right.
So she sidestepped a lot of those questions very well, too. So, but I just wonder, and then she made the comment that this will be the tale where we will know whether she's going to be able to make it in this job or not. She made the comment that she's going to go where the science goes, or the science tells her to go.
Yeah.
And in this administration, that'll get you fired.
It went very.
No.
She was very strong. Go ahead.
There's a situation where it might not. As we are approaching the midterms, they will try to be more moderate right now in their viewpoints to the public, and so she will get through the midterms. Now, what happens after the midterms is, everything's still like it is now, and they're in control of everything. Then she won't last very long if she follows the science.
It also depends on what happens in the midterm.
Right. That's what I agree. I agree.
But you have to, if this lady is legitimate, and everything we've read about her so far,
legitimate.
Everything we've read,
she's legitimate.
Well, we don't know her.
We don't know her. You make it sound like we know the lady. She didn't grow up. I didn't say anything about how she's legitimate. No.
What do you mean when you say if she's legitimate?
I have the same.
Dispersions on the lady. Give her a chance.
Have we dug enough into her background to know
Right.
that she might have some wild theories and thoughts out there too?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So you might be a plant.
Yeah, I don't know. And so, and again, if the lady is legitimate in her thoughts, and if she does, like she said she's going to do, and go where the science tells her to go, then I cannot imagine her. And again, these positions are time limited anyway. You know how they go.
Yeah.
You might be a year or two in there, and somebody will let you go. So now, was this the same position that Dr. Fauci held?
No, Fauci had a different position.
The National Institute of Health.
Because his position spanned administrations. I mean, he served under lots of presidents, Republican and Democrat. So it's not quite that position. And in fact, I don't know who is in that position right now.
So now she's in the position,
Right.
and you think to yourself, there's one or two ways. Am I going to get into the system?
Oh, he's been held in contempt.
Oh yeah,
Fauci. They're going after.
That's a pure political.
As long as Republicans stay in trial, they're going to go after Fauci until he passes away.
Yeah, they are. I think he's about 90
go
right now.
That's one of their main.
He doesn't look like him.
This dude is older. I mean, he's not a young man at all.
Yeah.
But they're going to continue to go after him.
Yeah.
But there's one or two ways, and Myron, you have already mentioned this. Does she look at the job as where she can get into the system and impact change and give credibility. In her case, give credibility to the system because
I think she wants that though. Based on all her
a lot of people go in there wanting that, working for Trump,
listen,
and then they change,
I agree.
or they get out, or they're pushed out.
Right? You look at the comments from her colleagues at the National Institute, all the medical places. They give her high reviews. They say she's a committed person to the science and blah blah. So it's just a matter of where she maintain that, or will she fold under pressure when the two bosses start coming?
But see, that's that's the thing about
that's
it.
What we don't
that's
know.
the thing about it. When someone comes to you with a job like that in this administration, Myron, I think it would be, and Marshall, because both of y'all have jobs like Marshall. I think it would be in your best interest to take a job as, what do they have? Attorney General? What else they have lawyers do? What's the over the Justice Department?
Yeah,
stuff
I think
like
the
that.
Attorney General's that's about to have a. Well, they're still trying to confirm this Todd Blanche.
But you get inside, you give credibility to this organization. Right now, they have none. They have no credibility. People look at
and that's why
Myron. In your case, it would be you would be over the press corps.
That's right.
Would be, and so
the
you
next
would give
Carolyn Levitt.
Yeah, you would be, but a truth telling Carol.
No, Trump would never have that. Not in that position.
You give
right.
credit, but again, you can say things and do things that instead of just flat out get them to the podium and tell them lies.
And lying, right? But see, that's the thing, and
that's the thing about it.
Well,
now, how long you guys would last in those positions? Maybe not long.
Not long, right?
But it would be a chance. And again, this is the top. You think about this lady now. There's only one other position she can go higher than her, and that's
Health and Human
Resources. Her boss.
Right,
that's the only thing. This is the pinnacle of all her training.
Right.
I mean, you talking about somebody you talking about somebody who's a doctor and a lawyer.
Yeah.
This lady is super smart. This woman stays in a book.
Yeah.
She stays in a book. This is a super smart woman.
Right.
So and this is the pinnacle of what she's been trying to reach.
So going along with what you were saying earlier about how she wants to have
an impact.
An impact. She says she told senators that she was going to provide Americans with clear, honest, and evidence-based, her words, public health guidance, and that she felt that was her, quote, sacred responsibility. And she added that she would, and this is her words, never betray the science. So she's going to run afoul of RFK at some point, and it may be sooner than you think. It may actually be before the midterms. You had to step out briefly, Marshall, but I was mentioning that the RFK folks are already talking about bringing back up the vaccines and the children and that type stuff.
It comes
so
around.
she may face an immediate test, and the reporters are all going to ask us, do you think vaccines cause autism? And what does she say then?
And you can see that coming back up because the school's about to start.
Right.
So and that's when the schools checking records for vaccination and all that kind of stuff. So you can see that easily coming up in the next few weeks, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So
has she been confirmed? Or
she has been confirmed.
Yeah, she has been.
She's in
by 50 something to 44. Yeah.
I wish her the best because one, not just for her own career, but we do need a science and evidence-based public health department. It sounds so, almost obvious to say it now.
You would think it would be a given.
And it was a given up until the current administration. You had a little bit of more of a conservative lean when a Republican president was in office, a little more progressive lean when someone like President Biden.
Respected.
But it was still well respected. Mm-hmm. And the other piece before we leave this is that there have been deep cuts to scientific research. And that to me is a nation, that's like cutting your military by cutting it to the bone. By cutting out scientific research, we're actually leaving ourselves more vulnerable to disease and pandemics.
And we're losing a ton of talent as well. Because
that's right.
We've been known as a country that when it comes to stuff like that, research and what, we've always welcomed the best and the brightest from all over the world to train at our facilities, and many of those folks do what? They stay here.
They stay.
But now it's not viewed as being friendly and welcoming, and so this talent is not coming here to our research institutions, but going elsewhere now.
That's right.
So
and I was listening.
So shoot yourself.
I was
in the
listening
foot
to a story
mentality.
on NPR about how the tourism. Could you imagine that? tourism in America, that means I'm not talking about inside of America, but people that's coming from other countries
That's
to
right.
come to America to visit wherever. And that is way down.
Way down.
It's significantly down because they don't look at America as being a friendly nation
Or
to visit.
safe.
Or
Yeah.
safe nation
Yeah.
to visit when it comes to certain things. So
Yeah.
and so that's hurting the tourism industry.
If I'm a foreigner, especially from a black or brown country, I'm not. No, there's no way I'm coming over here and get hemmed up. No, sir. No,
Yeah,
I'm not
and
doing
that's
that.
where the mass deportation. I don't think we're going to have time to talk about it this week. We can talk about it next week. I want to get to the Tupac thing, but that's where that also affects everything we've been talking about. Because we've had professors who were from elsewhere, who have been arrested at
Right.
airports,
Right.
brown countries,
Right.
And it's not even just the threat of deportation. That's bad enough, but it's the detention. And that's what's affecting our tourism. People don't want to get basically thrown in an American jail just trying to come over here and
and
go on vacation.
You talk about you be worried about if you coming from outside the country. You should be worried now.
No,
First is them. First
is
is them. Then it could be us.
right.
Yeah.
No, but we joke about it, but I think about you sometimes. MP2 is,
Think about
as
it.
far as traveling and stuff. That name of yours, man. I don't know. I suggest you lay low, sir.
I think I'll be okay if I'm inside the country. But if I ever leave the country and try to come back in, it might be a problem. It might be an issue.
Yeah.
You got that name that's seen as Miguel, pronounced mind you,
Yeah.
but it's seen as Miguel. Then people think, well, this is Hispanic guy. He's trying to get back in.
And you comment that no, this pronounced Miguel. They'd be like,
They're not trying to hear that.
get in the truck.
Well, and the Supreme Court has upheld that ICE can do profiling. They can use profiling as part of their
Oh yeah,
investigation.
And it wouldn't make-
pretty much anything else they wanted to.
And
do.
it wouldn't make no difference that I know hablo español. It wouldn't make no difference that I don't speak no Spanish.
Oh, they wouldn't believe you anyway. They'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever you say.
They'll
buddy.
be like, get him a translator.
right.
So Tupac Shakur, of course, was killed 1996 in. We all know about that. A trial date has been set for a fellow named Dwayne
Starts
Keffy D.
Monday.
Davis. Starts Monday. He is charged with orchestrating that murder. And so that begins.
Well, tell the audience who Tupac is, because some of our listening audience may not be aware.
Okay, the audience knows Tupac.
Oh, think about it.
But yes, we'll give some background.
Give us a little bit of
No,
it.
our parents know Tupac, I hope. Legendary
He's a yo.
legendary
bet you-
rapper Tupac
Dad.
Shakur. You could easily make the argument, the number one rap name in the business. It would have to be either him or Jay-Z.
I thought you were gonna say the number one rapper. I was about to say,
Right.
no.
Well, that's a different
That's
thing. He
different,
could
yeah,
rap
but-
though,
let's
but
not
but
digress.
kind of affiliated after he first came out. He got in with Death Row Records, which was Suge Knight's label. He kind of changed his style, but that's really the era where he became everywhere. You saw Tupac everywhere, doing movies out there, Poetic Justice and Juice and all those type
Nominated
things.
for a lot of Grammys.
Yeah,
Had
so-
5 number one selling
But
albums.
a feud grew up, and it was a feud between the Bad Boy label, which
West
involved
Coast, East Coast feud.
yeah, Notorious B.I.G. and who was never really in the feud but got wrapped up in it, and then the West Coast guys, East versus West. When you look back at it now, it's just crazy that anyone got killed over something like this, because Notorious B.I.G. was also slain in a also unsolved crime.
But just
so-
to imagine how violent it was back during that time, because
Yeah.
there were like 4 guys in the car.
Yeah.
When they
This
shot,
was on the Las Vegas Strip, right?
When they
Yeah, go
shot
ahead.
Tupac, and except for that one guy they have on trial now, all those other guys are dead. Two by violent deaths too, except for one that died.
I did
natural.
not know that.
Yeah, but both of them. The other 2, there were 4 guys in the car. The guy they have on trial now.
Yeah, so the other guys were we mentioned Mr. Davis, Orlando. These were in the Cadillac where the bullets came from that killed Tupac. Orlando, Baby Lane Anderson,
mysteriously
DeAndre
didn't
Freaky
hit Suge.
Smith,
All
Terry Bubble Up Brown.
All of them dead.
Knight survived.
It said Suge Knight.
Suge Knight, yeah.
I forgot about him.
Shakur Tupac died a week later. Of the 4 men in the Cadillac now.
The shooter vehicle.
The shooter vehicle, only Davis is around.
Only the guy on
Davis
trial is
is
the only
around.
one left.
Yeah. So
and they all died fairly recently within a short period of time after this shooting took place. One got shot at a pawn shop or something.
and so they said
it's
this
just
is
ridiculous how
a
violent.
dark moment in hip hop and black history.
Yeah.
Honestly, the
But I'm gonna
grand
tell you,
jury.
it was a dark moment as far as the violence goes. But some great songs came out during the '90s.
Well,
Some
yeah.
great
Well,
music.
rap music blossomed in the '90s. Yeah, and that's what also made it though really additionally devastating because rap music, if you follow the genre as we all did, from about '89, Public Enemy and them came out, and to
Cool J.
about '96, '97.
Tribe Called Quest.
Tribe Called Quest, Cypress Hill. I mean, it was so much good. That was what made the music national and then international. And then to have this feud right in the middle of it. So our story here talks about how it was the grand jury's looking. I mean, the trial. It actually details 2 overlapping feuds. We mentioned the East Coast, West Coast rivalry, Bad Boy Records, Sean Diddy Combs, who's in jail for different reasons. And then Suge Knight's Death Row Records.
It's a tough life.
Suge has also been in jail.
It's a tough life.
Both of those guys are in jail.
It's a tough life.
But there was
And rap music,
also,
bro.
and this brings back so many difficult memories because the other feud involved was the blood affiliated group, Mob Piru, and the South Side Compton Crips. So you got the Bloods versus Crips in there.
Right.
Witnesses claim that the Crips provided protection for Bad Boy Records, while Mob Piru, the Bloods, were affiliated with Death Row. Allegedly, this is all allegedly, the one survivor from that Cadillac, Davis orchestrated the hit on Shakur, on Tupac, as revenge for the rapper and his entourage beating up one of the other members, now dead, at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas.
Now,
this
that fight-
claim is backed up by Davis's own memoir.
Now that fight did take place at the MGS. We know that part is true.
Yeah.
We know that part. It's a big fight. It was a I want to say it was a Mike Tyson fight.
Yeah.
It was one of those type of fights.
That's what they were gathering for.
That was a great time with them '90s. Mike Tyson, Mike Jackson,
Yeah.
Mike Jordan. All the Mikes were doing their thing back then, but see, young folks don't know nothing about the Mikes.
That
was a great time,
wow.
buddy.
Wow. Yeah. So so that fight did happen, and according to Davis, he wrote this. The guy's on the trial. Quote: "We couldn't let no record company studio gangsters do us like that." And he said, one of my guys from the back seat grabbed his gun to start shooting.
It's a very silly reason to kill somebody, as we know.
Yeah.
It's a very silly reason to kill an artist or anyone else behind that. But I can remember specifically where I was in a couple of different occasions. One, I remember where I was when Jordan retired, when he made the announcement that he retired the first time and the second time.
Why is that so memorable to you?
That's memorable to me. I just remember
He's a big Jordan. I can see why that'd be memorable to him.
I remember where I was.
I have no idea where I was when Jordan retired.
and then I remember where I was when I found out about Tupac. You and I were living together there, so I found out about Tupac. That was in '96, and I'm gonna tell you, man,
You were huge too. Every time I come home from work, you
man,
have some Tupac blasted. I'm having a long day. He had the crib chilling, blasted Tupac.
Man, Pac was the man, bro. Pac was the man, and then, and I remember where I was when the OJ verdict came down.
Oh,
Yeah, I remember that very well.
So, but I mean, those when you think about those things when they happen, now it's been so many years ago, and you think about the how just didn't make sense, those crimes.
I know.
Those crimes didn't make
didn't make sense then, and they make less sense now.
They make
looking back.
even less. And then if this guy is true, if this guy is a real one of the orchestrators of it, you kill him because y'all got into a fight with some other guys in the MGM.
And then to write a memoir about it.
Well, the memoir, I understand. He's trying to get some notoriety, trying to make money, and then all of a sudden he gets caught up in it. But And then your Biggie Smalls, Notorious Big get killed doing that
later,
shit.
yeah.
Now Big's career was just really starting to go.
It was,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
really just starting to go. Pop was at the apex of his career. He had done so many things. He'd been in and out of prison, in and out of jail for
Yeah.
other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And so then, but again, the rap guys during that period of time, the rap music during that period, and again, I know I'm an old head, but the rap music during that period of time was just better, in my mind, as an old head than it was. You remember NWA came out during that period of time.
That's right, yeah.
And so you just had all kind of, you just had, the music was, but again, it was violent.
Well,
Yeah,
that's what
and
it
was violent.
that's the root. That's the root cause
It
of
was
what
violent.
we're talking about here. It was a time where violence and being hard and gangster type stuff was the root of a bulk of the rap music at the time.
Yeah.
And so, which then permeated into the young folks and how they did things, and that was what it was all about: posturing and being tough. And
then it coincided with the crack epidemic.
Oh yeah, those two.
Which led to dramatic growth and the influence of the Bloods and the Crips. I mean, we've had Crips and may still have Crips here in Fayetteville.
Oh, I'm sure we
it
do.
became a national, and so a lot of people got caught up in that, and it was just really, in many respects, just a sad and tragic time, even as rap was exploding.
Incarceration levels of black folks went through the roof.
Yeah.
And stayed there.
Yeah, and stayed there. Tupac Shakur, interestingly, and I didn't know this, fellas, until relatively recently. Someone said, he's buried out there in Lumberton. And actually, Afeni Shakur, his mother, is buried in Lumberton.
I knew she was.
Right, but what it was, I just looked it up. He was cremated the day after he died, which a lot of people found even that suspicious back at the time. I remember that he was cremated, and part of his ashes were scattered. Yeah, the day after he died, September 13, 1990. September 14, 1996.
If he is in fact dead.
A secondary.
There was also that too.
That was
It was.
Because you
a
notice
secondary portion of his remains, like some of the ashes, were scattered, and a headstone was put out there in Lumberton, North Carolina.
by his mother.
Yeah, by his mom. And so then that was, mind you, you're right. There was people speculating then and even now that Tupac is living. And one thing that led to that is a lot of music of his came out posthumously,
right.
which is
not unusual anymore.
Not unusual.
Because,
Not unusual.
Michael Jackson.
It was unusual
Tupac,
then, though.
It was.
That's
then.
my point.
So
It was sort of unusual then.
Yeah.
Now, if someone passes away, again, a good example of that is Prince.
Prince, right.
Prince got a whole
Vaults
catalog
and
of
vaults of
albums,
music,
the stuff
Right.
that's
Yeah.
not come. But back then, a year, 2, 3 years after he was
They
murdered,
were still putting out new
they
music.
were still putting out music for Tupac's
And,
music.
and I didn't realize until later.
Biggie too. They put out a lot of his posthumous music.
a
Not
lot,
as much as Tupac.
A lot of this music, people like Prince and folks that work really hard and got all kinds of catalogs of music. Those people and Michael, they're making their families, their estates. Are making tons of money. Man.
They are.
Tons of money.
And I'm
In
fine
fact,
with that. It's
I am
generational
too.
wealth.
I am too.
Yeah.
But the number one dead entertainer, right, is Michael Jackson.
That's right.
Yeah, and then you got Elvis and Prince and
Yeah.
all those guys. They still making dough.
can
man.
repackage it,
Yeah. Really.
I saw,
I didn't
Well,
realize
see,
it was that big a business.
Prince had so much music out there. He's in a realm of his own.
No level, yeah, right.
He got Prince.
He was putting out 2 or 3 albums a year.
Yeah,
and that's just the stuff he put out.
That's stuff he put out.
Right.
So
right.
they found so much catalogs of Prince.
The Vault, right.
The Vault. Prince could be
Yeah,
having
there's
stuff for
a
another
great-
100 years.
There's
still
a
be
great
music out there.
a great podcast that Sarah and I listened to about about the vault, because it had been rumored about that he had this vault of all this music unreleased, and so Prince had some kind of, this is classic Prince, some kind of antique or safe that almost impossible to get into. And so I don't know if the key went missing or something, but they had to hire the estate. The family had to hire this expert or break it into vaults.
To drill in there. And found millions of songs.
And it was real touch and go.
Right.
Because the kind of thing, if you mess up trying to break in, is shit. No one's getting in.
Right.
And so they talked about it, but then when they finally got it open, there was
And
just
also-
rows and rows. He had on cassettes. all his unreleased stuff. Just rows and rows of it.
That's amazing. And that's a great legacy to leave. When you think about it, you leave this earth and you got all these works that's still yet to be unleashed.
That's right. That's right.
That's for your family to fight over.
Yeah.
That's what they're gonna do.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's fights over estates now because they're like Marshall, as Marshall pointed out. There's multi-billion dollars in that.
Oh yeah,
those estates.
Oh yeah. But anyway, I think we're at the end here. I don't hear the music, so well, the music is ready to start up now.
Well, we got a little extra talk time.
We got a little extra talk time, and we appreciate that, Tammy. Always. But we gotta get ready to get out of here. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to this edition of MP3. I am Marshall Pitts.
Module Pitts.
And Myron Pitts.
And we are
MP3.
Have a great